Alright there guys, we're back. Another beer review. This time we're doing, well tonight we're going to be doing some beers sent to me recently by the Albino Rhino, but first I'm going to get through two beers. One of them I've been meaning to get to for quite a while because it's been in the NSLC for a bit. And then after that another beer from the same company that just showed up in the NSLC. Okay, so this is Granville Island Brewing English Bay Pale Ale, 5% alcohol by volume, and they're from Vancouver, BC. It says, our English Bay Pale Ale has a smooth, mild flavor, brewing with West Coast character and a caramel malt aroma. True pale ale, it gets perfect balance from natural carbonation, careful maturing under the watchful eye of a brewmaster. So the usual bullshit that you see on every bottle, pretty much. Perhaps not as grand as reverse osmosis water or whatever, or free range water, but you know, it's still in the same league. Alright. Established 1984, this brewery was. Got my hobgoblin glass. Yeah, that's a pretty straight up amber color. Looks just like your, very clear. Looks like your typical British style pale ale. Nice bit of a head there, about a finger's worth. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks tasty. So we'll go right to the aroma. Yeah, definitely caramel malt base to it. The hops smell British. It's not a big hop aroma, but you get that slight green apple / copper coin earthy kind of hops aroma. Smells very good. It smells a lot like oh, what the hell are their names? Drawing a blank. Traditional ale from that brewery in out west. Jesus, it's just been so long since I've had it. They're the same one that does the grasshopper wheat ale and everything. The name will come to me. I'll probably remember it 3 or 4 reviews down the road, and then I'll mention it to you. But yeah, it smells like a very sort of, you know, very light kind of British pale ale. British style. So we'll do a little taste here. Again, it's got that caramel base. It's not very sweet in the maltiness though. It does have that slight caramel flavor, but it comes off a bit more bready. The British hops come out a bit more in the taste, but not particularly bitter either. It's you know, just a very, very mild bitterness. But it's got that sort of earthy copper coin sort of British hops character to it. It tastes like a British pale ale, just standard bitter, pub bitter. No off notes. Finish is fairly clean. Doesn't really linger on the palate all that much. It's good. There's nothing special about it. It's definitely one of those ones you could. I'd take it. I'd actually take it over that. God damn! What the fuck is the name of that brewery? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'll be right back. I gotta ask some. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Big Rock Brewery. Their traditional ale, their Warthog. This is in around the same level of those, but I think this is fairly more enjoyable actually. It's slightly better. Could easily do a 6-pack of this, no problem. There's a little bit of lingering sweetness coming out now from a little bit from it. Nice. Alright, Say 3 out of 5, a high 3 though. It's almost 3.5 out of 5. It's a pretty damn decent sort of little session bitter almost. Alright, we're back there, guys. We do another beer from Granville Island. I want to say Iron. Granville Island Brewing. Established 1984 from Vancouver, BC. This is their Brockton IPA. 6% alcohol by volume. It says Brockton IPA is a celebration of our 25th anniversary. Brewed in the style of a Pacific Northwest India Pale Ale, this refreshing IPA is golden colored and well hopped. It's destined to become a highlight of this great city, just like its namesake in Stanley Park. Okay. Obviously some history I don't fully know. Let's get this down here a bit. Alright. Got the Blanche de Chamblay glass I recently acquired from the generous albino rhino. Okay, let's pour the sucker. Should be good. Okay, that is definitely lighter colored than the English Bay Pale Ale. Also, you might recall I did a Granville Island brew a few months back. It was their winter beer, I guess. And that one was the one I did with my brother that sparked this whole mint running joke where he's tasting mint in every bloody beer we do. Yeah, so coming into this, I sort of had a bit of a hate-on for Granville Island doing these two beers. But so far they've gained a little bit of respect back from me, because I didn't really think much of that winter beer, by the way. I thought it was just, you know, sort of subpar. But you're doing pretty good tonight so far, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's it's pretty much straight up golden kind of color. They do not lie on the bottle as far as that goes. About a finger of head. Alright, right to the aroma. Definitely more hopped. You can really smell the hops in this one. Very copper coiny. They say Pacific Northwest or whatever style. Pacific Northwest India Pale Ale. It smells like a British IPA to me. Definitely has a more of a British hop character again. Smells very copper coiny, maybe slightly piney. No real citrus notes or anything like that, which is what I would expect. Alright, so we'll go right to the taste. Smells very good, by the way. A little bit of a caramel malt base there as well coming through. Alright. It's definitely more flavorful than the English Bay Pale Ale. The hops really dominate in the flavor profile. I dare say this might be dry hopped. And I'm thinking that because the bitterness just really isn't there for an IPA. They call it an IPA, but this is decidedly not an IPA, not even, I think, in the broadest definition. Perhaps it's more of an IPA than, say, Alexander Keith's, but that's about it. It's got a very nice, don't get me wrong, it tastes very nice. It's got a very nice dry, earthy hops flavor that dominates the entire thing, but it's just a slightly more hoppy version of an English Pale Ale. It's not, although the alcohol is right, it doesn't work as an IPA as far as I'm concerned. Not even, I don't think even in the British style. It's just a little just not bitter enough. I've had English bitters, solid English pale ales that are more bitter than this, and that's sort of what you're looking for in an IPA. You're looking for a dominant hop flavor and a dominant hop bitterness, and the bitterness just isn't there. It's just a slightly, it sort of tastes like a bigger version of this, really, where the hops are more in control. It's a little less balanced with the malt. You still get some of the malt there, but it's even less the caramel taste, even less sweetness, just sort of dry and biscuity. Finishes dry, lingers dry. It's a very nice drink. It's just, it does not taste like an IPA to me, and it certainly doesn't taste like anything you'd expect from the West Coast. I know the West Coast is very large, so perhaps there's some regional variations in their IPAs that I'm not aware of, but generally when you think of a West Coast IPA, you think hoppy, citrusy, maybe even tropical citrus notes, grapefruit, anything like that. You don't think of maybe slightly piney and then this sort of almost British earthy hops. That being said, it's nice and refreshing, but it's a standard British bitter more than anything else. If it was darker, you might even, and had a bit more of a fruit flavor to it, you might even consider calling it like an ESB or something like that, but I think some of the alcohol as well comes out for the sort of the dryness and astringency at the back of the throat. It's a nice beer though. It's just, I have this picture of either the brewmaster or some Weasley little PR marketing guy going, okay, what do we got here, guys? Oh, well, we got this really decent pale ale. This really good British style pale ale. So how are we going to market it? We can't market it as a pale ale. Well, what's popular? Let's call it an India Pale Ale, because everyone and their fucking dog has an India Pale Ale these days. And it's very, very popular. It's, you know, it's still basically the dominant trend in craft brewing in North America. So fuck it. It vaguely fits the description of an India Pale Ale, I guess. So let's call it that, and perhaps they'll sell better, because no one really wants to buy a standard old pale ale anymore. Not in North America. They'll look at a standard pale, you know, 9 times out of 10. You got these craft brew enthusiasts, whether they're hipster douchebags or legitimate craft brew enthusiasts like you and me. They're not probably going to buy the pale ale 9 times out of 10. They'll see the IPA, the pale ale, side by side. I'm grabbing the IPA. I want to try the IPA. And so that's probably the thinking behind this one, because it's not an IPA. I'm actually going to go as high as 3.5 out of 5 for this one, though. It's definitely better than the English Bay Pale Ale. As far as just a bit more depth of flavor and character, and it's still a really good drinker, really easy drinker. I'm not going to dock them for mislabeling it, because, you know, whatever, who cares. It's not as egregious as Alexander Keith's calling their shit IPA. Alright, I've gone on way too long for this one, guys. We'll see you later.